And I am honored to be here this morning as one of Kentucky's past Superintendents of the Year. While serving Superintendent of the Davis County Schools in 2016, I was selected to receive this honor, which is by far the most humbling but wonderful professional recognition that anyone in my profession, Kentucky public school education, could have imagined. Today, several Kentucky Association of School Administrators Superintendents of the Year have gathered here in the Capitol Rotunda to declare that public education must be recognized as a precious resource, that despite all the challenges and naysayers, Kentucky public schools are doing amazing things for our children. Kentucky public schools deserve respect and celebration and, yes, a little love. Efforts to celebrate public education are emerging on the national level, and in response, we are here to formally present a Kentucky Superintendents of the Year resolution in support of public education and to announce the launch of the Love Kentucky Public Education campaign. I'd like to introduce my colleagues here with us today. First, Dr. Leon Mooneyhan, 1994 Superintendent of the Year from Shelby County Schools. Dr. Robert Storer, 1999 Superintendent of the Year from the Walton Verona Schools. Dr. Blake Hazelton, 2002 Superintendent of the Year from the Oldham County Schools. Mr. Tim Hanner, 2010 Superintendent of the Year from Kenton County Schools. Dr. Thomas Shelton, 2011 Superintendent of the Year from Davis County Schools. Mrs. Nanette Johnston, 2014 Superintendent of the Year from the Hardin County Schools. Dr. Henry Webb, 2017 Superintendent of the Year from the Floyd County Schools. And Dr. James Evans, 2018 and current Superintendent of the Year from the Lee County Schools. Certainly want to say thank you to Commissioner Pruitt and our friends from KDE who have joined us here today. Thank you all so much for being here to support this effort. Appreciate legislators that have joined us here, Senator Johnny Ray Turner from the Senate Ed Committee and Chairman Bam Carney from the House Education Committee. Thank you all so much for being here with us. If there are other legislators in the room, thank you all for being here as well. Appreciate you supporting our message. A special thanks to the KASA staff for the beautiful banners that they've produced for us, logistic supports to put this together today, and the Capitol staff for their assistance in setting up for today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, ours is an optimistic message. Kentucky kids, Kentucky teachers, Kentucky administrators, Kentucky school employees of all kinds are making a positive difference in the lives of their communities. To share some of the great news and progress, I'll turn the podium over to Dr. Henry Webb.
Thanks, Owens. And I would be remiss if we didn't give Owens another round of applause for his work making today happen. I'm honored to be here today and get to share a few words about the great thing we call public education. I love public education. Do we realize that today as we stand here, over 678,000 amazing kids are walking through our doors and been educated in Kentucky? Think about that, 678,000 kids been educated today, and we're very proud of that. We have approximately 100,000 employees working as we stand here today to celebrate public education with our kids. Additionally, we have 867 dedicated and amazing school board members who are making courageous decisions on a daily basis for our kids. We have over 5,600 parents serving our kids each and every day in public education on SBDM councils all across our Commonwealth. And yes, we have amazing legislators here in Kentucky working on behalf of our kids, and we know they're going to do the right things for public education. And even something that really stuck out to me when I started looking a little bit about what's going on in our state, we have over 2.9 million volunteer hours from our parents and our community members in the Commonwealth of Kentucky Public Education last year. I think that's worthy of a round of applause. So conservatively, if you add all of that up, I conservatively say that we have over 2 million people in Kentucky working directly every single day for Kentucky's kids. And our population is only 4.3. And I believe it's much larger than the 2 million that's working directly with kids. So just a few positive things going on in education in Kentucky. We ranked 8th in student performance improvements in the last 2 decades by a Harvard study. 2015, Building a Grad Nation report called Kentucky a beacon for all other states for eliminating opportunity gap between low income and all other students for graduating on time. 2017, Kentucky ranked 17th in the U.S. News and World Report on the best rankings of high schools in the United States. Quality Counts 2016, 4th in 8th grade proficiency ranks 24th in our nation, 24th. Kentucky graduation rate is 89.7 compared to 84 nationwide. And 92.5% of all students have a successful transition rate right here in the Commonwealth in our public schools. And over 32,000, let me say that again, 32,000 students are taking AP classes as we stand here today, and they're taking over 50,000 exams with over 25,000 of those getting a 3 or 5 score. Over 50% of our students that are taking those exams are getting a score of 3 to 5. That's pretty amazing in our Commonwealth, and that's grown every year since 2012 dramatically. And our ACT, we talk a lot about ACT. You know, I've done some data crunching. There's only 17 states in America that 100% of the students give the ACT. We rank 8th out of those states. And I'm very proud to say that. And we've steadily grown in the ACT every year over the last 5 years. Do we have challenges in public education? Absolutely. But do we have dedicated individuals working for kids and supporting schools in our communities all across Kentucky to meet these challenges? Absolutely. So, I've shared a lot of data, but what do we really do in public education? Just a brief statement. We take every kid that comes to us where they are without regards to any circumstance. We love them, we wrap our arms around them, we provide them resources, we educate them, and we equip them with the skills and capacities and help them set goals and dreams and help them achieve those. And I'm very proud to say that's one of the best things we do in public education, and a lot of that will never be measured on a test score. So I'll leave you with this today. I'll simply say I strongly believe that the public education is the foundation of democracy. It's the key to economic growth. It's the key to our Commonwealth. And kids' lives are literally in the palms of all of our hands, and it's up to us to what we do with it. At this time, I now turn it over to our Kentucky Superintendents of the Year as they will present our resolution in support of Kentucky public education. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Tim Hanner, 2010 Superintendent of the Year from Kenton County. Whereas being selected Kentucky Superintendent of the Year is the highest honor bestowed on a member of the Kentucky Association of School Administrators and a tribute to the talent and vision of the men and women who lead our school districts. And whereas Kentucky Superintendents of the Year hold sacred the value of public education and possess a unique perspective on its power to shape and change the future for children and families. And whereas Kentucky Superintendents of the Year have gathered to speak with one voice, calling for recognition that Kentucky public schools are vitally important and worthy of support and celebration and appreciation. And
my name is Blake Hazelton from Oldham County. I was Kentucky Superintendent of the Year in 2002. Whereas Kentucky public students continue to demonstrate remarkable progress, including increased graduation rates among the top 10 in the nation, improved college and career readiness, a 4th place national ranking for 4th grade reading, and increases in academic performance resulting from the application of research-supported instructional best practices delivered by high-quality teachers, despite ongoing efforts to cast public schools as inferior. And whereas investing in public education is the best and most beneficial impact to ensure economic growth and the overall health of the Commonwealth, as it is critical to the 21st century that students leave public schools, college and career ready, and prepared to fill current and future jobs. Whereas a robust investment in education is necessary to equip schools with the resources, including personnel, facilities, technology, and buses, to ensure all Kentucky kids acquire the skills and knowledge needed for college and career readiness in the 21st century. And
I'm Leon Mooneyhan. I was superintendent in Shelby County and superintendent of the year in 1994. Whereas a robust investment in education will continue to close the equity gap, which will decrease the divide between the educated and uneducated, wealthy and poor, and the strong and the weak. And whereas the existence of a strong, effective system of free public education for all Kentucky children is essential to our democratic system of government, and whereas preparing children for democracy embraces the notion that to thrive, this nation must have citizens committed to the ideals and work of democracy, equipped to operate in a democracy, and who can find common ground in their differences and respect where the common ground is absent. And
good morning. I'm Bobby Storr. I'm superintendent of Walton Verona Schools, 1999 Superintendent of the Year. Whereas Kentucky schools provide students with broad-based educational opportunities to include learning multiple languages, having exposure in history, culture, and context of all regions of the world, learning how to collaboratively solve problems and interact with people of diverse cultures and different lands, and developing empathy for human differences, commonalities, backgrounds, and whereas Kentucky public schools are critical to student health and well-being, public schools serve as a lifeline for children who cannot access health services outside of school or who suffer from limited access to healthy nutrition. Schools are uniquely positioned to help children and youth acquire lifelong health-promoting knowledge, skills, and behaviors. And whereas standing up for public education and Kentucky's kids truly matters, and therefore,
good morning. I'm Tom Shelton. I was the 2011 Kentucky Superintendent of the Year from Davis County. Be it resolved, Kentucky Superintendents of the Year call on state lawmakers to prioritize full fiscal support for our Commonwealth's public schools and to honor promised benefits critical to those who commit their professional and personal lives to our schools and to our kids. Kentucky Superintendents of the Year strongly advocate for state policy committed to fully supporting and educating the whole child, providing necessary financial support for academic and non-academic factors, including counseling, extra and co-curricular activities, student safety, and social emotional supports, and to empower local education leaders to implement, manage, and lead school districts. Kentucky Superintendents of the Year support an inclusive, safe, and innovative quality public education that ensures all students can succeed regardless of their zip code, the color of their skin, their native language, their gender or gender identity, their immigration status, their religion or social standing, while promoting equity and excellence.
Good morning. I'm Nanette Johnston, 2014 Superintendent of the Year from Hardin County Schools. Kentucky Superintendents of the Year declare a commitment to these values, and we reject any policies that would undermine them. Kentucky Superintendents of the Year urge our governor and legislator to meet their Constitution and moral responsibility to properly and fully fund public schools and support children who depend on public education to prepare them to be happy, healthy, successful, and productive citizens of this Commonwealth. Kentucky Superintendent of the Year this day initiates the Love Kentucky Public Education campaign to proclaim the good news of public education, to spark conversation leading to every Kentucky community having access to high-quality public school, and to openly and strongly support students, teachers, leaders, and employees of public schools. And we invite the citizens of the Commonwealth to stand with us and to take up this important cause. This, the 23rd day of February, 2018.
Good morning. I'm Jim Evans, Superintendent of Lee County Schools, and 2018 KSA Superintendent of the Year. Nothing is more important than the quality of education available to the young people of Kentucky. As you have heard today, we're calling on all citizens across the Commonwealth to support, defend, and celebrate the quality of our public schools. We ask school boards across the state to adopt their own official resolution in support of the Love Kentucky Public Education campaign that has been launched here today. Information about the campaign will be distributed to all school districts and school boards for their consideration. We ask all elementary, middle, and high schools to also join the effort through social media and local campaigns that focus on the great things happening for your students. Hashtag Love Kentucky Public Education. This is both a celebration of progress and a call to action. This campaign creates a platform for schools and communities to join together and express why we love public education and why Kentucky depends on a quality public education system to improve the lives of all Kentucky children. There is power in numbers, and the potential for the effort to reach many thousands across the state is real and exciting. At a time when education policies seem to undervalue the rich history of our public schools, we invite you to join with us to expand the dialogue about what's right with our schools, and then to consider the critical need to support the public school system with the resources necessary to keep the progress we are seeing continue. Remember, watch for hashtag Love Kentucky Public Education. And thanks so much for being here at this event today. Thank you.